with no voice. No what? Uh-oh. Okay. Sorry. I was tightening up the microphone because it was like hanging up in the air. Oh, don't touch it. All right, I won't touch it. All right. So I'm Angela, nurse practitioner with from Recrea Health and Wellness, and I have no voice. So I've been saying this is my sexy Phoebe voice. So I'm not going to start singing Smelly Cat or anything like that because I don't know the words. So you're good. You don't have to listen to me sing because I can't sing when I have a voice. So I definitely probably can't sing without a voice. So you guys are all good, just so you know. All right. So what we do is we discuss anything and everything related to GLPs. I wish you guys could actually ask questions and talk on here, but you're stuck with me talking. So we'll see how this goes. If people will actually log in and ask questions, because I have to do all the talking. I'm only going to be on here for an hour, and that's probably a good thing because I won't be able to stay on much longer. All right, so please follow me. Please go to my bio and check out the information on my bio. And I have a lot of new information up there, which you may not have seen in the past. So definitely go on there and check that out. And I am putting up a lot of new videos. I've been using the lives to get my videos. So we have been getting a lot of great information from these lives lately. So I really do appreciate your questions and everything that you guys do ask because it really does help me get a lot of good content. And anytime you have any questions or anything that you want to ask, please let me know because I would be more than happy to put that information up and record questions and things like that as well. So definitely ask anything at all. All right. So what I usually do is I start out with a free consultation until you guys start asking questions. So what I'm going to do is just start with that. So what we do is in my clinic, we offer free consultations. Basically, what that is we do anytime you guys have any questions, you are more than welcome to contact us. We are starting a new concept. It's called Real GLPs. And basically, what I'm trying to do is become the Dr. Phil of GLPs because I've actually been researching my competitors quite a bit lately. And oh my gosh, I am shocked by what is not offered and what we do offer that they don't offer. It's kind of scary, to be honest, that there's not real people out there that you could actually call. With us, you get real. You always have real information. So I want you to know that if you ever have a question, I don't care if you get your meds from us. I really honestly don't. But you are more than welcome to get them from us. We cover all 50 states, but I also, you don't have to get them from us. So if you just want to call and ask us questions, please call and ask and get your questions from us. So basically, what we do is we will answer any questions. We will take care of anything that you need us to. And, the goal is just to keep you happy, healthy, and successful in your journey. And we are here to be on that journey with you. So you could follow us on multiple different places. But, on here, I'm always posting videos to try and help keep you happy and healthy. I've got a couple of the text videos that are going viral, and it's a lot of really, really good information. So if you go on those, please comment, because it really does help you as well. Okay, please follow me and please share my life. All right, free consultation. So basically, we give this information out to anybody that wants it, and we can always share it with you. Just let us know if you're interested. So GLPs work three ways. First, they get rid of I'm hungry, I'm craving. If you've never stopped to listen to your brain telling you that you're no longer hungry and craving, you need to do that. We tell people for the first initial 30 days, that's all we really want you doing is concentrating on listening to that and getting the protein. So you need to spend time listening to your brain telling you you're not hungry, you're not craving. The second thing that you need to do is learn to listen to your stomach telling you, hey, you don't need to eat that much. Because if you eat to full, you're going to be very, very uncomfortable. So you want to eat to, I feel food in my stomach, and that's it. The third way that they work is they slow, or I'm sorry, insulin resistance. So what's going to happen is your body is going to start processing that blood sugar better, and it's going to start giving you more insulin, and it's going to start processing the insulin better. So there's a lot of really good benefits to that. First, it's your cardio system, it's your nervous system, your kidneys. They've just released your liver. They've also said your colorectal system. So they're really noticing a whole lot of benefits from that. So what I do is I always ask everybody, how do you get nauseous easily? If they say yes, then I'm going to offer them something for nausea. I'll answer that question here in a second, Smith CA, because they asked about the pill version, because I will give you my answer on that here in a second. So, what's really important is you have to control that nausea, then bowels. Bowels and nausea are the two biggest side effects that a lot of people will experience. The most important thing is prevention. So, what you want to do is make sure that you prevent those. And what you do is bowels, the best thing to do is start fiber. You want to make sure you get 24 to 30 grams a day of fiber, and you want to start out slowly with fiber. So what you're going to do is you are going to take, I like Metamucil gummies. Anything gummy, I'm going to take it because I really like gummies. But you're going to start out with one a day, a couple days, two a day for a couple days, and then three every day. Then I also like magnesium. I don't have it in here. It's in my shop, but magnesium 14 and 1 is from Bev. I really think it's one of the best things out there. It's going to help regulate your bowels as well. Take a pre and probiotic. I have one of those in my shop as well. You also have Zenwise, and I just put another digestive enzyme in there by Nature Made. Both of those are fantastic. Pick one or the other. If you need the pre and probiotic, then take Zenwise. If you don't want the pre and probiotic, you can just take Nature Made. Okay, so we'll talk about food here in a second on what I teach, but the pill versus the jab. If you are looking for a more rapid loss, or you're looking for a where you want to just have a just the pill doesn't give you the rapid. So what you're going to have with the pill, the first 3 months, you might not have any. So you have to be very patient with the pill, because what happens with the pill is it's going to take you a little bit longer because you have to build it up in your system. So the first 3 months are a titration up. So what's going to happen is you're going to have to be very, very patient. Now, my daughter did have 9 pounds in that first 3 months, but she did everything that I told her to do with her lifestyle. We don't use the D word here because I don't like the D word. The D word to me is just kind of like, okay, we're going to change everything for a little bit of time, and then we're going to go back to what we used to do. We teach lifestyle. So you're going to change the lifestyle. So you're going to do the same thing with taking the pill. So just with that lifestyle change, she had a loss. But when you do the pill, you can still have the same side effects. So you have to be very careful, and you need to make sure that you are making those changes. So that's what's important with the pill. But people will notice more of an L with the jab sooner than they will with the pill. Now, if you've already had the L and you're kind of where you think you need to be, then you might be able to take the pill and be able to sustain it. That's what I'm kind of thinking it's going to turn into. And I think that's what it's going to be used more for, is kind of like a, you're at your goal and you're at where you want to be. So you get on the pill just to kind of have that stable, because you don't want to do the jab forever. But we really haven't had the pill out for long enough now to kind of see where it's going to be. I like the compound pill better than the name brand, because the compound has naltrexone in it, which is a little special coating on it that lets it last longer and is metabolized better in the stomach. And it actually, the naltrexone has a way to better control it in the brain, and it gives you a little bit better control of that food waste. So that's why I like the pill better of the compound version. So I think it's going to have a better result once you get past that first 3 months of the pill and you're into that fourth month, and you're going to have a better L. The first 3 months, you have to be patient, but you still need to make those food choices, because the food choices are really going to make a difference. We'll talk about that here in a second. Okay. So, can you list those vitamins that you suggest again? Yes. For the bowels, and these are all in my shop. So, except for the Metamucil, that is actually, you know what? I think it might be in my shop. But Metamucil gummies, you're going to work up to taking 3 a day. Then I have 2 pre and probiotics that are in my shop. One is Leafar, Leefar, and that's just for the ladies, and it's a pre and probiotic, but it also has slippery elm in it, which is for your female health. Then the other one is Zenwise. Now that's a pre and probiotic. There's a female version and a male version, or just a general version for everybody, but it has a pre and probiotic, has digestive enzymes in it. So if you notice that you're having a lot of bloating, or you notice that you feel like you're not digesting your food well, then you can take the digestive enzymes. And then if you want, for the ladies, the female health version also has a for your female health. Or the guys, you can just do the digestive enzymes and the pre and probiotic. Then there is just a digestive enzyme that I did have that I just started trying, which is by Nature Made, and that's in my shop as well. So you can try that out there also. So the other thing that I really love, and I don't have them in here, I should have grabbed. I'm always so not prepared for this. I'm so sorry, but it's Vev, VEV, and it's amazing. And what I highly recommend is doing the Vev Magnesium 14 in 1. It's really good and it works really well. And I suggest getting that also. It's Magnesium 14 in 1. So you take it at bedtime. It helps with your sleep, but it can also help with leg cramps, but it helps with bowels. It has 10 magnesiums in it, and it can help you regulate your bowels. And I really, really do like it. And a lot of people have tried it and they think that it's fantastic. So what I take every day, because I have a lot of bowel issues, so I take my Metamucil gummies, I take the Leaf Air, and I take the Vev Magnesium 14 in 1 every day. And it really does seem to help. Now, if you notice, if you're taking those 3 and you're still like, man, my bowels are still not moving, then you take Miralax. Because if you miss a bowel movement for 1 day, then you want to take Miralax, because what that's going to do is that's going to also help you move those bowels, because you want to go every day. Okay, so foods. What I highly recommend is taking your foods, so you know, simple carbs. Okay, somebody just real quick. Somebody said magnesium 07. Why take 7 when you could take 10 in a gummy? That's why I like the magnesium 14 in 1, because there's 10 magnesiums in that. So you can actually take the 10 in that versus 7. And then somebody will say magnesium citrate. Again, magnesium citrate is in the 14 in 1. So that's why I prefer to take the magnesium 14 in 1. So that's why it's important. That's why I really like the magnesium 14 in 1, the Vev. Plus, it has L-theanine and zinc, which is good for your immunity. And also, you have your ashwagandha, which is good for your brain. And you have vitamin D, which we all need. So that's really important. What magnesium did you recommend? Where do you get it? So it's in my shop. It's called Vev Magnesium 14 in 1. So if you go to my TikTok, so if you click Recrea Health up in the top, you go to my shop. It's in there. It's called Magnesium 14 in 1. I am actually on my PC. I don't know how to get the store up here. So I apologize. I'm looking real quick. We couldn't figure it out the other day. If I was to switch to my phone, I could show you. But if you go to my store, it looks like a little purse on my page. You can go there, and that is where you can get it so that it can help you. Please follow me. My name is Angela. I am a nurse practitioner, and I have a clinic in Medina, Ohio. We actually do service all 50 states. We do hormones as well as the GLP, and we can do labs in all 50 states as well. So if you need anything or you have any questions, please reach out. We also offer a free consultation. So we are always available to you, and we are more than happy to help you with anything. We are always, always available to you guys. My whole goal in life is just to make sure that you get the information that you need. And I want to keep you safe, happy, and healthy. I could care less if you buy from us, but we are available. You always have access to us. if you are with us or not with us. So, just to let you know that we are here for you. We are always here for you. Veronica, oh, I think Luna heard you or smelled you or something because she's awake. So yeah, we are always here for you guys. Okay, so let me tell you about the foods that you can eat. So you want to stay away from simple carbs. Simple carbs are anything that processed to be white, so white sugar, flour, pasta, rice. And I try to keep everything extremely simple because when it's simple, it is the best thing. We have too much complexity in our life, and if I make things complex, then it's going to be harder for people to do. So what I try to do is keep things extremely simple. So no simple carbs. And what simple carbs will do is give you indigestion, belching, nausea. They will make you sick. So that's why GLPs are great in the fact that they will make you sick. So you want to avoid those things. Now, I'm not going to say that I never have them. I do have them, but I'm at my goal. But when you're first starting out, you really want to try to avoid those as much as possible because you're really trying to retrain yourself, retrain your brain that you don't need these anymore. It takes about 2 weeks to break a habit. So the other thing is what we do need is complex carbs. Complex carbs are good at giving us energy. So when we have that energy, or when we're tired or fatigued or we just feel drained, it is really important for us to have those complex carbs. That's your vegetables, your roots, your potatoes, your whole grains, your oats. 25% of your diet is going to come from those. So that is really, really important to make sure that you're getting those. Complex carbs are things that come from the earth. So simple carbs are things processed to be white or processed by man. Complex carbs are things from the earth. And that's what's really, really important. So what you really need to understand is we can eat the things from earth. We don't want to eat the things that are processed by man. Because when it's processed by man, then it's not good for us. So again, complex carbs are from the earth naturally. So that's your vegetables, your roots, your potatoes, your whole grains, and oats. Now, when I say oats, I don't mean the oats that are the instant oats. So you want to try to stay away from those packets because the packets are instant. So man has touched it. Man has made it processed. So what you're going to try to do is eat, the oats that are going to be harder to cook or the ones that you've soaked overnight, because those ones are going to be harder and the body needs more to process them. Does that make sense? So, but the important thing is it's only 25% of your diet. So that's what's really important as well. So 25% of your diet is complex carbs. And you don't want that. You don't want the roots, potatoes, and whole grains and oats. You want to try to stick more with the vegetables because you need those vegetables. Really, really important that you're getting those vegetables. So fruit also. So fruit is in that group. But here's the thing with fruit. I teach people that when you're eating fruit, you need to be careful because fruit is a high glycemic. When you're eating fruit, your body can't tell the difference if it's a high glycemic versus is it a sugar. So when your body is looking at it, if you're not burning that high glycemic, your body it doesn't know the difference. So you don't want to eat that fruit in the evening and you don't want to not be busy that day. So if you're somebody that's more sedentary, that you're not out active and doing stuff, then you don't want to eat that fruit. You want to, avoid it as much as possible. And it's hard when I really like fruit. I really like sweets. So when fruit is in season, it's really hard to not want to eat it. So what I try to do is not really eat it that much unless it's a more active day or I'm working out or I'm going to be in the yard or, stuff like that, because then I know I'm going to burn it. So that is when I try to eat the fruit more often. So you just got to kind of think about that. So, I got a good answer for that one here in a second, Linda. I will answer how to combat extreme fatigue. So what you need to do is get 25% of complex carbs. Now here's the most important piece, everybody. Protein. Protein is extremely important. If you are not getting enough protein, you are going to have problems, okay? So protein is 75% of our diet. We have to have that protein. So protein is going to help with the fatigue. Protein is going to prevent the hair loss. Protein is going to prevent the muscle loss as well. Now, I've had thin hair my whole life. So before anybody says anything about my thin hair, I have had thin hair my whole life. But we see the hair. We see the hair loss. But what we don't see is the muscle loss. So the muscle and the hair go hand in hand. So if you're seeing hair loss, you're also having muscle loss. So what we have to do is make sure that you're not losing the muscle. So in the hair. So you have to get that protein. What I recommend is everybody find out how much protein or how much muscle you have. So what we need to do is get enough protein. What you can do is go to a gym or get one of the scales, and they're anywhere from $30 to $300. Get a scale that tells you how much muscle mass you have. When you find out how much muscle mass you have, and Jose, you can go and find one of these scales that's going to tell you how much muscle you have. Once you find out how many pounds of muscle you have, then you need to have 1 gram of protein per muscle mass. That is the easiest way to figure that out. Now, if you want a general, women typically need 100 to 120 grams of muscle. Guys need 150-ish pound or grams of protein. Yeah, grams of protein. Okay. I'm sorry, I think I said that wrong for women. 100 to 120 grams of protein for women and 120 to 150 for guys. Because if you don't, you're going to lose your hair and you're going to lose your muscle. The other thing that's extremely important is collagen. Collagen is going to help you prevent you from getting the saggy skin, getting all of the skin. There you go, Michelle. Yeah. Collagen is going to help you prevent you losing your hair. It's going to help keep your skin tone tight. It is going to just help you with so much stuff. So this used to be me. Okay. So I have lost 104 pounds. I personally love Nutrafol. And you can go to my bio and you can get the information from there. So what you need to do is the collagen. The other thing is Nutrafol hair vitamins is another way. Okay, hair or extreme fatigue. So extreme fatigue is also with the protein, Linda. So protein and complex carbs, making sure that you're getting both of those are extremely important for fatigue. Linda, are you on name brand or a compound? That's my first question. Because when you're on name brand, it comes down to vitamins. When you are name brand, usually what you're doing is you're depleting your vitamins. Okay, so you're on name brand. When you're on name brand, you have to make sure that you're getting good vitamins because what's happening is you're depleting your vitamins because you're not getting enough nutrition. So, what I highly recommend is a great multivitamin. I have a multivitamin that's in my shop. I really, really like it. It's a 47-in-1. It's called Beauty and Energy. So, that's one thing that I do recommend because you need a lot of B vitamins. So B is in boy. Because what happens is when you're on name brand of any of them is you're not getting enough nutrition. And it's hard to get the nutrition because a lot of times you're not hungry. So when you're not hungry, you aren't just able to pull in enough of those vitamins. So what I highly recommend is that you are getting a good healthy vitamin. The other thing is, so if you're getting a good multivitamin, that's one thing. Uh, or a good B complex, something like that. One of the things that we do in our office, this is the next thing, Linda, this goes right with what your next question is. So when you hit that stall, oftentimes it's a multi-factor issue. So what happens is in the stall, it is one, your calorie count. We often see the stall when we hit summer. And a lot of people hit it. And it's because of your lack of calories, or it's because of too many calories or not enough. If you're ever below 1,200 calories, your body's going to go into a stall. If you're women typically need 13 to 1,400 calories. So if you're above that, it could be too much. If all of a sudden you're getting more active and you haven't adjusted your calories, it could be because of that. If you're not getting enough protein, if you're not getting enough of a vitamin supplement, it could be because of that. So, what I did is when people were having low energy or they were not feeling enough of the energy, we would give them a shot in our office called LipoBurn. And what that is a whole bunch of B vitamins with a couple other things in it. And it helped with the three-letter F word, metabolism, energy, and it helped them feel better. And that was when we discovered this. So I invented this, and basically it's lipomino C and lipoburn, and I put it in a vitamin. And if you're interested, you can DM me and I can get you set up with this. But do not purchase this from my shop. I think I removed it. But this is full of B vitamins, gives you energy, burns with, or it helps with metabolism. It has immunity support as well. So that stall, what it does is there's a lot of multi-factors to it. I'm really good at helping you figure that out. So Linda, if you're interested, we do the free consultation, and I'm serious, it is free. And we're really good at helping you figure out why. Because everybody's an individual. So it's looking at your calories, your age, your BMI, looking at, what's going on with you at this point. And we can definitely help you with that. But this is something that you can try. Any knowledge or help on treatment of metastatic? I unfortunately that is not my specialty. I wish I could, but that is not my specialty. Do you have that right now, Linda? Um, because I don't even know if they will let you take any of these when you're on that. And if you have that right now and you're on these, I honestly would probably go off, because once you start treatment of that, your appetite's going to be horrible, and you probably want to be able to eat because you need to be able to have good nutrition to help your body fight. Um, yeah, because you want to be able to fight cancer. I know a couple other people have said, "Oh, your friend does." Oh, yeah, I am not. That is not my specialty. I will definitely throw out some prayers because that's tough. That's really tough. Yeah, any cancer is not fun. Um, yeah, I hate when you hear it's metastatic, that's for darn sure. I hope they caught it early, because at any time it's caught earlier, it's definitely easier. We just had one of our young ladies in our family. She's 31 or 2, has 3 young children, and just found out she has breast cancer, stage 3, with level 3 or stage 2. Um, Number 3, I actually don't even know what the number is, but it's just crazy. Yeah, but I don't know much about cancer. Unfortunately, that's just not my thing. I do a lot of weight loss hormones, and so that's what I do. Um, Thank you, it's your girl, Ava. Thank you for getting on here today. So what we're talking about is GLPs, hormones, and anything related to those. I do cover all 50 states. So my main thing here is to make sure that everybody is very well informed and everybody has all the information that they need. I am so sorry about my voice today. It's been going since Friday. It was gone on Saturday. I don't know what the heck's going on, but I did start an antibiotic last night. So hopefully. So I am definitely here to answer anything and everything that you guys have. Please follow me. Please share my live. I'm wonderful. It's wonderful to see everybody here. We've got some good numbers going on. Uh, the There is promising figures for prostate, bone, and lung. Yeah, it is really amazing, the new research that they've been coming out with and the stuff that they're showing. And, we are seeing a lot of improvement in inflammation. I've really, the risk versus benefits has been really improved. It's really great to see uh, that it's unbelievable lately, and all the numbers and research and all that that's come out. I started MJ 2 weeks ago at 2.5 milligrams. I've had terrible stomach cramps and diarrhea since. Okay, there is a product that you really, really need to check out. It is it is called Zenwise, and it's digestive enzymes with pre and probiotic in it. The other thing is when you have diarrhea, a lot of times diarrhea and the stomach cramps are coming from what you're probably eating. So you need to stay away from fried fatty foods and you need to stay away from simple carbs. Simple carbs are anything processed to be white or processed by man. So what I would highly recommend is trying to figure out, okay, what am I eating, and try to cut out things. The other thing that I have found out, and if you all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, my stomach is bloating, I got really bad gas, I don't know what the heck's going on, look at your protein because certain proteins like whey protein, you could be trucking along just fine with whey protein, and then all of a sudden it hits you and it really causes a lot of bloating. So, what I would highly recommend is, looking at your protein and finding out if it's whey, stop it for a little bit and seeing if that goes away. Because Premier Protein, for instance, is whey. And if it's one of the least expensive ones that are out there, but it can really bother your stomach. So you need to be very careful because all of a sudden it can really start bothering you, become sensitive to it, causing a lot of diarrhea, causing cramping, causing bloating, and it's really a problem. So Lancer, one, are you on a whey protein? Two, are you eating simple carbs or fried fatty foods? The other thing, get Zenwise, get the pre and probiotic and digestive enzymes and see if it helps you because that is definitely probably causing problems with the stomach cramps and the diarrhea. And that's what I recommend to anybody that's in my clinic. And the other thing is talk to your provider and they might be able to help you. If you ever have diarrhea, be very, very, very careful that you aren't doing Imodium because very quickly Imodium is going to flip you the other way and cause severe constipation. So you want to be very, very, very careful with Imodium. Just a word of advice, just something that I've learned over the years. Okay, so Lancer, did you take Premier Protein before you started this at all? Because so Lancer is doing Premier Protein, and okay, and it didn't bother you before you started taking the GLPs, Lancer? Uh, because I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but I was taking another very okay. So sometimes when you start these GLPs, they can cause something to bother you that didn't bother you. A lot of times that can happen. So what I highly recommend is if what I would say, Lancer, is get a digestive enzyme, or try cutting out the Premier for a day or two and see if that changes. And then do the digestive enzyme. You could try like Fairlife. It's not whey. It's a little bit less expensive than Fairlight or Premier. Or I'm sorry, it's a little bit more expensive than Premier, but it might be able to help you with that. So what digestive enzymes? I like Zenwise, Zenwise. It is in my TikTok shop if you want to check it out. They just changed their label, but you can find it, and it's there's one there for men. So just make sure you get the male one, not the female one, because you probably don't want the female health stuff with it. But yeah, but digestive enzymes, whenever you have diarrhea and you have bloating or stomach pain, digestive enzymes are good because what's happening is that food is sitting in your stomach. Is there a company that is doing tea where the price is under 200? Okay, here's the thing that I like to tell people. It is very important to, if you could find a price that's under 200, you need to be careful because concentration is going to be lower. They might start out at that price, then it's going to go higher with dose increase. They're going to have hidden costs. They're going to have low concentration. So what I've seen when people start out at that lower dose, it eventually goes up when you price increases. So you just need to be very, very careful. Our pricing is for our S is 269 per month, and then our T starts at 369, and then our and for the first two doses, and then it goes up to 419. We have no membership costs. We have no contracts fees or cancellation fees. Everything is included in that. But our concentration for our tea starts at 20 milligrams per ml. And then our S is 5 milligrams per ml. So what I've seen on companies that do that 200 or less, a lot of times for tea, it starts out at even I've seen it as low as 5 milligram per ml. So if mine's 20 milligram per 1 ml and you are getting it 5 milligram per 1 ml, that's why it's so much less because basically you're getting water. You're getting a very, very low concentration. So you need to be very careful with that because, yes, you're getting it for a lot less, but you're not getting a very good product. So just be mindful of that. Make sure you're asking a lot of questions. So when you're seeing it at those lower prices, just make sure you're very careful. I can't say what you've lost. Yeah, so somebody else is saying that they've had a stall for 2 months and it's expensive when you've had that stall. It is. It is very expensive when you've had that stall. And what I do we're very involved in our clients' care and we're always available to you. So I tell people when you get to 2 weeks of a stall, you need to reach out to us because one, I can't help you if you're not communicating to me. I can't give you advice if you're not letting me know. But a lot of you can't get a hold of your providers. You can't get a hold of those people that are supposed to be there to help you. And then they don't have anybody to help and support you. So that's what's important is making sure that you can get a hold of whoever is supposed to be there to take care of you. So a part of our program is you are a part of our family. So we are real. We are here for you. We are always at your fingertips and available. You have a direct cell phone number to text us and say, hey guys, I am having a stall. I am having issues. Can you please help me? And that's what we're here for. So when you hit that stall, there are several factors that go into it. One, how many calories are you at? Because we don't tell you to count calories until you hit the stall because it's going to happen. Either you've had a really good L and now all of a sudden it's stopped. Sometimes it is for ladies, it happens more often for the guys because maybe now you're hitting that more normal BMI where you're at 24.9 to 29 BMI, and now it's going to get a lot slower. It's harder. So now we have to start putting in some other things. We got to add in an exercise program. We've got to manage your calories a little bit better. We've got to be stricter with the protein. Never below 1,200 calories. Women are 13 to 1,400 calories. Guys are 16 to 1,800 calories. Protein needs to be 100 to 120 grams a day. Then guys need to be 120 to 150 grams a day for protein. And then, how much are you exercising? What are those calories of? What kind of foods are you eating? Are you avoiding the simple carbs? Are you getting your complex carbs? What are you doing? So that is really important because when you hit that stall, okay, do we need to add in that metabolism booster? Do we need to, what do we need to do at this point? So that's what that free consultation is. That's, what we do for everybody. So you don't have to purchase your meds from us, but we do cover all 50 states. So, we can definitely help you, with anything like that. Is this the brand? You can get it directly from the manufacturer at the same price. So we do compound. We offer from compound. I am actually working on getting all of my Medicare reinstated. And we will do, we are available. Sorry, I got sidetracked on a question there. So we are able to offer in all 50 states. And so what we do is compound. Sorry, brain just went. So yes, we do off count. I'm working on getting my Medicare reinstated. And we are also working on a VA contract. So I'll be able to help all the veterans as well. I'm a veteran, so I really have a special spot in my heart for them. So RS in most states is 269. And our T in most states, it starts out at 369 for the first 2 months, and then it goes up to 419. And that is, we don't have any increase at all. We have no membership fees, no contracts, or anything like that. So it absolutely covers everything. And that is, I just don't believe it. And our concentrations are the highest concentrations available on the market. And we are always available to you. So, that's what's really important is the fact that we are always available to you and we are on this journey with you and we make sure that we keep you happy, healthy, and successful. And, you don't have to struggle on your own. We're on the struggle with you because, we've lived it with you. And it's a journey that you don't want to be on your own with because and the great thing is I've helped thousands and thousands of people. So I understand when you hit that wall or you hit that struggle and it's like, well, what do I do now? And, we have this really cool scale here in the office. It's called a Tanita, and it breaks down a lot of information. And I've researched a lot of information and I've looked at a lot of, scale information on a lot of different people. So I really understand all of that. So just quickly, if you guys could please follow me and if you could please share the live, I would really, really appreciate it. And I really thank you. Okay, so I wanted to share something with you. So today, one of the ladies she's probably been on my program for 3 years and she's been on maintenance for a while now. And she's the same height as me, same weight as me. So it was interesting. Uh, and she hang on a minute. So Christina, so I went to the Zimwise page and it looks like one bottle is blue and the other one is different. They did just change the packaging on some of their products. And so what you need to do is just find the digestive enzymes with the pre and probiotic. One of them is a brown bottle with a green lid, and then the other one is blue. And so you just need to figure out which one you want because they did just change their products, but I do have the right ones on my page. So if you go to my page and go to my shop, they're in there. Both of them are in there, the ones that you would like. There's one called No Bloat that's a really good one as well. But if you don't want the prebiotic and the probiotic and you just want the digestive enzymes, I put one in my shop. It's called Nature Made, and it's a really good one as well. So coaching isn't available from your firm if we buy direct from Lily. Yes, you can. I charge just a small fee if you just want the coaching on an ongoing basis. We definitely can help you with that. It's just a small fee that we can charge you if you just want to continue the coaching with us. Absolutely. I want you to be safe. Because there isn't anybody out there that does just the coaching and teaching. And that is what I want to do. I want to make sure that you're getting it and having that available to you. So yes, if you go somewhere else and you're purchasing it and you don't have somebody available like us to teach you and help you and make sure that you're doing it and getting it, like having success, absolutely we can help you. And I really try to keep everything very affordable and very simple. And we have a very successful program. I have people that come in here from in the community and from other doctors in the community just for the teaching and educating. And because this is all I do day in and day out is teaching and educating. So absolutely, if you just want the teaching and educating, and we could do a telehealth visit with you and do it over the phone anywhere from in the country. So, it's not a problem at all. We would be more happy to do that for you. So absolutely. So let me tell you what happened today, because it's kind of, it's what always happens. So it's really easy. 20 minutes. So it's this lady that's been coming into my clinic for about 3 years now, maybe even a little bit more than that. But she's the same height as me, same weight as me. She's 11 years older than me. And we were both just like looking at each other. And I said to her, I'm like, you look skinnier than me. And she's like, well, you look skinnier than me. And we were both just like, oh, there's no way. So I had Veronica take a picture of us because we were both just like, no, you're skinnier. So we were just going back and forth, and it was not being mean or anything, degrading to each other, just kind of like, no, there's no way. You look better than me. And then we got the picture, and it was crazy because we're the exact same. And it's funny to me that we as people, as women, we don't see ourselves as we should, because I sit here and I still see this. And, it's crazy because we don't ever stop and think about what we really have, the good things that we've done for ourselves and what we're starting to, be. And, I was really, I really thought that she was so much skinnier than myself. And here we have the exact same body shape and size. And it was just really kind of crazy that we were both sitting there, like, no, there's no way. And, I was just wondering how many people actually have had somebody that, they're looking at and have done the same thing too. Because it was really surprising for her and I that we both looked the exact same. And then we took that picture and we both looked the exact same. And, it just was really surprising to me. Have any of you ever experienced anything like that? That, and you just still refuse to see yourself as this thinner version of yourself because it's really difficult. Yeah, it's a really difficult thing. And I was just curious if anybody else has experienced that. So, just to recap on, how to the foods that we're supposed to be eating. What's really important is making sure that you are avoiding those simple carbs. So when you first start this, a simple carb is anything processed by man to be white or just processed in general. So a lot of people tell me, "Oh, I eat a lot of meat sticks." Meat sticks are extremely salty. Yes, they have the protein in them, but the salt is not good. The salt is going to make you retain fluid. So you want to be very, very careful because if you're eating all of that salt, what it's going to do is it's going to cause you retain fluid, which is going to cause you to gain. And a lot of times it takes you 3 to 4 days to get rid of that fluid. So you want to avoid that. Then the other thing is if it's processed white sugar, flour, pasta, rice, you need to be careful because that's going to upset your stomach. That's going to give you indigestion, belching, might even give you sulfur burps. It is just not going to be good. So my husband and I went to the movies the other night and we had popcorn. Popcorn tends to be more of a complex carb. My body did not like it. I had sulfur burps for 4 days. Then I developed diarrhea from it. It was miserable. And I tell you, I had that one other time, and I really don't know why that popcorn did that to me. I probably will never eat movie theater popcorn again. Just to let you know, it was miserable. The other thing is that you want to avoid those simple carbs because they're what put us in this problem in the first place. So at the beginning, you just want to avoid those. The second thing is your complex carbs. You really want to get those 25% of your diet is the complex carbs. So you want to concentrate on those. So complex carbs are your things from the earth. So naturally from the earth. So that is your vegetables, roots, potatoes, whole grains, oats. But you really want to concentrate on your vegetables. So that is really, really important. So the other thing is you want to make sure you're getting your protein. So protein is really important. You need to drink it. You need to make sure that you're getting women 100 to 120 grams a day, guys 150 at a minimum 150 grams a day. So just make sure that you're getting that protein. It's important. Drink it. Drink it in shakes, drink it in waters, drink it however, get it. Just get your protein. Because if you don't, you're going to lose your hair, you're going to lose your muscle. And it's so important that you get that. And what you want to do is make sure you're getting that protein. That is, I keep it extremely simple. Learn to listen to your brain, telling you you're not hungry, you're not craving, and get your protein. Listen to your stomach and don't overeat because it can be really miserable. Somebody said, aha, I just was just scrolling and I had the same thing happen to me at the movies. I just wanted to hear you say that and wanted to validate that also on a GLP. I'll tell you what, that popcorn at the movies, it got me. That's the second time I did it. The first time I actually did throw up, but I didn't throw up this time. And I was like, seriously, I am not throwing up from that popcorn. But I wish I had because I was miserable for 4 days. And yeah, it was not good. Thank you for following me. I really appreciate it. And I am a nurse practitioner. My name is Angela. I have a clinic in Medina, Ohio, and I am able to cover all 50 states. Don't care if you buy your stuff from me. All I want to do is make sure you guys are educated, make sure that I give you the information that you need to be safe. And, if you do want to purchase from me, fantastic. If you don't, I don't care either. I just am here to make sure that you have the information that you need because it's really, really important. I apologize for my voice. I started losing it on Friday, and yeah, Saturday it was full on. And what? What can I say? This is my new sexy Phoebe voice. Don't worry, I'm not going to start singing. But yeah, I just have probably about 14 more minutes. But we talked about bowels, we talked about what to eat, we talked about hair loss. So it's really important with the hair loss, making sure that you get your protein. I can't stress protein enough. Make sure you get your vegetables is extremely important as well. Your complex carbs are what is going to give your energy. Making sure that you have a good B vitamin, especially if you're on name brand, because name brand depletes your B vitamins. So the B vitamins are extremely important. Then you also want to make sure that you're doing a B complex if you are on name brand. This is something that would be a really good add to name brand as well. So this is something I created, or if you hit the stall, this is something that I created as well. So this is like lipomino C, which is the injection that you use for lipo burn, or I'm sorry, um, for metabolism, energy, and it is fantastic. So what I would really, if you want, or if you're interested in this, DM me, and I can help you. What about R? And so that shouldn't be out until the end of the year. I highly recommend that you do not start R until Lilly releases it. Currently, it's not FDA approved or released by Lilly. So what's available is coming from the gray market. And it is basically coming from the guy that's opening up his coat on the corner. And it is not approved and it's coming from overseas. And I am not allowed to prescribe it. If I prescribe it, I can lose my license. So a legit provider is not supposed to be prescribing it. So at least for me in Ohio, I will lose my license. So that should tell you something. It's very scary, and people that are getting it not legitly. I don't know if that's a word or not. So I would be very, very careful in making sure. I mean, I don't know why people are so excited about getting something from somebody so quickly when we have two really good meds that are working very effectively. I personally like meds that have been out a lot longer. I like meds that have been tried and true and are very effective. I personally like S. I think S is an amazing medication. It has been out the longest. It has great effects. And we have the biggest majority of people in our practice that have lost the most on S, where we have, tea's great. I think Lily has been fantastic on marketing for tea. And I think that's why everybody thinks it's so great. It's honestly one molecule different, but it's a lot more expensive. I tell people start out with S. If you have issues with it or you stop L'ing on it, then we could switch to tea. But the cost of it just really doesn't give it that much more of a benefit. It doesn't really give it that much more of it doesn't work that much better than S to justify the cost in my eyes. So I really, it has the exact same side effects. I actually have more nausea on T than I do on S. I've tried both twice. And, I've not noticed that much of a difference. And I've not, seen that I could say that, it's worth that much difference in the price. So, I don't really, what's the difference? I don't know. So I really just kind of, that's my opinion, and that's what I've seen in my practice out of thousands of patients. So that's, really what, sorry guys, I have to do something for TikTok here. So yeah, that's really, my opinion and what I've said. I wonder if I should have started with other no real nausea struggling to eat though. So that's just how I do things in my practice. That's what I recommend to people. That's what I tell them. So If you are having struggle with eating, I always back down the dose because when the dose is too high, that is when people struggle to eat. So, what I tell people is let's decrease the dose because you really, really need to be able to eat. And if you're not eating and not getting enough nutrition, that's a bad thing. So, if you are struggling to eat, decrease that dose. I don't increase the dose on people until they are having hunger and cravings and the protein is up where I need it, then I can increase the dose. I keep doses down. I dose up on each person. I don't dose up every 4 weeks because it's not necessary. So we dose up per person, not per 4 weeks, if that makes sense. Um, uh, so um, I don't recommend R at all because R is not FDA approved. It's not Lilly approved yet. So somebody else just said you can get it from some. No. Um, it's up to you. It's your body, but I am not allowed to prescribe it. So I don't recommend it. Just my opinion. It's my what I think is what I um, yeah, R is scary. R is very, very scary. I do not recommend doing it until Lily is approved it because it is very scary, very scary. Basically, what we're seeing right now is, you know how you have that guy out on the corner in New York with all the watches and it's a Rolex. It's not real. That is what's happening right now, and I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't put it in my body. And I wouldn't put it in any of my family members' bodies or any of my patients' bodies. So, and I could lose my license if I prescribe it. So that should say something. So, no, don't. I can't. I'm not. I can't tell you where to, and I wouldn't recommend doing it right now. Why do you need that when we have two great meds that work wonderfully? There's no reason to go to that right now. I could lose my license, Cecile, if I were to tell you where or how, and I can't prescribe it. Um, all right. I was pretty hungry at the low dose, unfortunately. When you're hungry on a low dose, what you need to do is protein. If you get your protein and your hydration up where it needs to be, oftentimes that will control the hunger. Um, it is very important to get your protein and your hydration up before you increase your dose. If you have your protein where it's supposed to be and you have your hydration where it's supposed to be, then you increase your dose. Otherwise, don't increase until you get your protein and your hydration up. That's really, really important. So that's what's important. So my struggle is my doctor tells me one thing for protein, and my nutritionist tells me another thing. Okay, I would go with your nutritionist. Um, the research that's out there, the 2 to 300 grams a day is unrealistic, extremely unrealistic. I'm assuming, Mike, he's telling you that because he's going pound of weight to gram of um, protein. That's impossible. There is no way that you can do that. Your nutritionist might be going pound of muscle per gram of protein. That's more realistic. The the guidelines are pound of muscle per gram of protein. That's what's really important. Okay, so that's what I would recommend. If you that is the recommendation is pound of muscle per gram of protein. And that's what I would do. Okay, R is not released by Lilly and is not released or FDA approved. I would not put it in my body until Lilly releases it. Yes, it is supposed to be better. It's the newest, best thing on the market. But what is currently out on the market is not regulated. It could be water. It could be really strong. It could be okay. We don't know. Nobody is monitoring what is coming into the States. You're getting it from Japan and Vietnam, or you're getting it from somebody's basement, basically. You don't know what you're getting. So let's just wait. Let's just hold off and wait until it's approved because it's scary. People are getting extremely ill from it, or they're spending a lot of money on it for nothing. And that's why it's really, really scary. We have two amazing meds that are working very well. Are supposed to be available by the end of the year. So let's just wait. Okay. That's what I say. Just let's just wait. Um, Mike C, if you can hit that much, that's fine. But my thought process is if you're hitting that high of protein, you're probably getting too many calories, which is going to not let you lose. And that's where I'm scared. If you like tea for lymphatic benefits, I've noticed much less on R. Okay. And yeah, because who knows what you're getting when you're on R. That's my point because you don't know where it's coming from or what it is or how effective it is or how much medication actually is in it. So um, yeah, that's my thought process on that. You aren't getting as much benefit from R for lymphatic benefits. That's probably why, because you know are you know what you're getting with it. So that's my opinion on that one. All right. So everybody, I am done. And